What's up, VirtForce? I'm so excited for this live stream. Today, we're talking about TurboTax. They are hiring 1,000 new tax pros. 1,000 new tax pros by November. So I'm excited about this, and you should be too, because we're talking all about how you can jumpstart a remote tax career with TurboTax Live. I'm going to say it again. We're hiring 1,000 new tax pros at Intuit TurboTax by November. They are teaming up with VirtForce to help military spouses, veterans, and transitioning service members snag some of these tax pro positions. And today you are going to hear firsthand from retired Army vet who made the leap to a tax career after the military. And trust me, you do not want to miss this. So first, I want to give a special announcement. Big announcement, big things happening. And before I do that, I'm going to do a quick refresh to make sure you can see and hear me online. All right. Let's see here. Doing a tech check online to make sure you guys can see and hear me. And team, I am not seeing it on the Facebook group. So I will lean into you guys to figure that one out. There we go. All right, let me head over here to our team chat and make sure everything is all squared away for technical issues. Okay, let me see here. We're having a little bit of tech trouble getting you guys live streamed into the Facebook group. All right, I'm showing if you are watching and you can see and hear us, a comment is super helpful, letting us know that you can see what we are doing and that we're here to chat with you. Okay. All right, one second. I'm going to bring my team on screen quickly so we can do a technical troubleshooting. Katie, you are on screen with me. And Felicia, I'm going to bring you on screen with me too. Before we get going, because this content is just so good and what we have is so good, I want to make sure that everyone can see it. So for right now, I am not seeing this live streaming to our primary group, which is where the majority of our job seekers are. So are you having that issue too? Can't hear you. Let me unmute you. Okay. Yes.
It is in the process of connecting. It's trying to send the data to our Facebook group right now. So I'm checking to see.
We are streaming to 2 of the 3 pages. Okay. So it's just that final page that just is not wanting to reconnect right now.
All right. Let me see. Would it be helpful if we restarted the stream?
No, I think we're almost there.
Okay.
It's refreshing on my side right now.
Thank you, ma'am. I do see we have 34 candidates watching, so that's exciting that we've got people coming in from our other platforms. And thank you guys for sticking with us. You just know we've got over 80,000 military spouses waiting for us in the Facebook group, our primary Facebook group, who want this information. So we want to be careful not to get too far ahead of ourselves before we get that stream active.
It should be live now.
Thank you.
We are live in the Facebook group.
Okay, we did it. Yeah, we're here. Hey, everybody. Okay, already 5 more people jumping on there, so it'll be a slow ramp up. Let me get you off screen, Felicia. Thank you, Felicia and Katie, for being available to help solve that problem on the spot. You guys, this is remote work at its finest. All right, so live stream. It is a Tuesday afternoon. Happy Tuesday. I'm excited that you're here. I'm going to start over, just refresh here. We're talking about how you can jumpstart a remote tax career with TurboTax. Intuit is on the hunt for 1,000 new tax pros by November, and they're teaming up with VirtForce to help military spouses, veterans, and transitioning service members get hired in these tax roles. Today, you get to hear from retired Army veteran who made the leap to a tax career after the military. And trust me, I'm telling you, the story is so powerful, you don't want to miss it. But first, huge announcement, special announcement for you. If you are interested in going through Intuit Academy so that you can qualify to be a tax pro, this is big news for you. So first of all, we've done this already. If you know VirtForce and you know our community, you know we do these boot camps. We do them often. And we just finished our last boot camp last week. I mean, I'm telling you, we are fresh off of it. And before we even finished, we had 3 military spouses get hired at TurboTax before they even graduated the program. All right, 3 of them have already been hired. We have 7 more qualified applicants who are putting themselves into the pipeline this week. So we're hoping for 7 more hired stories coming out of that group. Oh, by the way, P.S., if you were in that boot camp and you completed that course and you're ready to apply, email Katie. Katie is going to put her email address on screen for you so you know her email address. Be sure to reach out to her before you apply. She's going to validate you and make sure that you have everything you need before you start that application. But here's our special announcement. The big announcement is we are offering 1 more boot camp this quarter. 1 more. This is your last chance to get into a Q3 dedicated support group and dedicated guidance from experts at the VirtForce team and at the Intuit team before the 2024 hiring season wraps up. So let's get that required work experience canceled and get you on the path to becoming a tax pro. Icebreaker time. Let's have some fun together before we jump into some of these amazing conversations. We would love for you to drop your current duty station in the chat. I want to know where you're stationed. And I would love for you to let me know if you are here to start the boot camp or if you've already done the boot camp and you don't need to do it again and you are just ready to apply today. Okay, so drop that in the chat and let us know. Let's see here. All right. Awesome. All right, so let's get going here this afternoon, guys. There's our chat button. We see Brian says he's all good on YouTube. Robin's Air Force Base as of 2 weeks ago from Julie. Janet says she is in Mason, Ohio. Jennifer is in Hawaii. Oh, I forgot, you know what? The super fun part of live streams is that we get to show your comments on screen. And this is really fun that we get to interact with each other and do it that way. So thank you guys for rolling in the comments. We love that. Ashley, Kings Bay, Emily, Colorado Springs, Angel, Cherry Point, and you are ready to start today, Angel. All right, so remember our icebreaker is tell us if you are ready to apply or if you are ready to start boot camp. Thank you so much, and tell us what duty station you're located at. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bring on a very special guest, Angela. You guys, we are all honored to have the opportunity to speak with her today. Right before I do that, I wanna draw your attention to the top left-hand corner of the screen. So this is the QR code. Can we change that QR code, please, to our navigation link? Yeah, there we go. We made this page because what we are going to be explaining today is, it can be cumbersome. It can be hard to understand. And so we built this landing page to help lay out the pathway for you. So basically, there are two paths to get hired at Intuit. Number one, you already meet the qualifications and you are ready to apply, which if that's you, we want to help you identify that today. Number two, you do not meet the qualifications and you are ready to start boot camp, because the process of going through boot camp and completing the certifications through boot camp will qualify you to apply. Okay. So if you want to figure out which one you are, start with this QR code. Click it. About 2 scrolls down the page, you're going to see a question. The question is going to ask you about your experience. Answer the experience question and click the button, and it will direct you to the process that you need to be following. And then you can use that process to guide you through everything else that we're doing with Intuit and TurboTax. All right, with that being said, everybody grab that navigation link now. And I want to welcome on Angela Blaze Green to the screen.
Hello.
Hey, Angela, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be a part of this today.
I'm so happy you're here. So I want to say that Angela started a remote career in tax after serving in the United States Army. She successfully completed the Tax Level 1 course, earned her badge, which earning your badge, all of that's described in the navigation link I gave you a moment ago, and has worked as a tax associate with TurboTax for the past 2 tax seasons. So she's a seasoned TurboTaxer. Angela, could you start by telling us a bit about your background and what led you from active duty military to tax?
Absolutely. So, for my military background, I am currently a retired Army veteran. I am a spouse of about 21 years. My husband is a DoD civilian. He's currently working at the Anniston Army Depot, where we live right here in Alabama. But he is also father and papa to our 4 boys and our grandson. So, in the military stance, I was a supply sergeant, but my health wasn't so good. So after serving in Iraq, I had to change some things. And of course, my career was one of them. And so it was after retiring out of the military due to my health, being able to do less things, that 4 years later in 2013, a friend told me about a paid tax program that I could take. It was a class. And if I paid this class and I passed, then I could be a tax professional. Well, 11 years later, I love it. I love helping people. I love the transition from the military that I was able to come over into the tax world. But most importantly, I'm able to work remotely and go around some of the workplace obstacles that come into play with my health being a factor.
So thank you so much for your service and your sacrifice to our country, both when you serve and as a spouse. And also, I'm from Alabama, so I hope you're enjoying it.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. I tell every military spouse or transitioning service member that I meet, if I had to start over and make a different choice for myself, I would choose tax. I think it is the most remote, the most portable, the most sustainable evergreen position that someone could take on. And I love it for all of those reasons. And there are so many possibilities at Intuit specifically for career progression, which I know we will get into soon, but I have a heart for it. And I'm so glad that we have you as an example of someone who's done well and can share that experience. So reflecting on your time at Intuit, what highlights, milestones, or experiences have you gone through that shaped your journey?
Wow, there's been quite a few things that even just in these 2 seasons that have shaped and supported my professional growth. So, of course, decreasing the workplace challenges that I have, I'm able to focus more on my clients. I'm able to focus more on obtaining the knowledge that's available through the different platforms. So I'm able to actually dive right in, be me, add value to my credentials with all of the different programs that we have, but then also be encouraged that as I'm doing it, um, and I like to say, have fun while I'm doing it. And so just being a seasonal tax preparer, sometimes we look at it as, I'm only doing this part-time job, but with
Mhm.
Intuit, you've got advantages that are company incentives, bonuses. If you do take advantage of the Intuit Academy, you can increase your wages as you're coming in as a new expert.
Wow.
I had the opportunity of finishing my second season this April and exceeding my expectations for all my productivity and performances. And so it allows me in my growth as I'm learning and as I'm moving forward to also challenge myself, outdo
Yeah.
myself, and then look forward to doing something greater next time.
Ooh, ooh, you get me chills. So everybody who's in the comments, tell me what you loved most about what Angela just said. There were three things that really stuck out to me. Number one, Intuit is an employer that where she says, I can be me. I can be me and add my value. How many of you are looking for an employer who can truly see you and see what kind of contributions you are making to the team? I love that. Number two, career progression and wage progression, merit-based, because she discussed specifically going back and getting education, which contributes and tallies directly to wage progression. And the third thing, I think it slipped my mind. What was the last thing you said, Angela?
Well, I'm gonna say, well, there's another, but I'm just gonna
Tell
say just
me.
the boosting. I'm a goal setter, so I'm
Yeah.
always trying to just outdo myself. And so
Uh-huh.
in doing that, if I exceed expectations this time, next time I want to exceed. And so Intuit allows me to do that. And just one
Yeah.
thing to add in there, we get spotlights. And just during the season, these spotlights are like non-cash rewards, but you cash them in. I decked out my whole back patio because of my performance in these
Oh,
benefits. So these are extra incentives just at being a part of a company that appreciates you.
yeah. And you can see that. You can absolutely see that. Christina said she liked that you talked about progression. Dawn and Mary say they like that you talk about opportunities for new learning. And Julie says confirmation that this is somewhere where you can grow is really nice. And let's see here. We have Daniel says he loves the wage progression. Oh, and then we've got our team member, Katie says, I love those benefits. I know I'd like to deck out my patio too. That sounds amazing. All right. Let me see here, Angela. I asked you about your milestones, your experiences, and how they have shaped you and your role there. I wanted to congratulate you on earning your tax level 1 badge. And I'd love for everybody who's watching to understand that that's what she's talking about when she says, I can go and get additional education through the company. So congratulations on becoming a tax associate and doing that and setting an example for your colleagues. I want to know a little bit more about the ways getting into tax can turn into an incredible remote career. Everybody who's looking for remote careers, listen up, turn your ears on. Angela, go
I'm
ahead.
going to say flexibility, control. In
Yeah.
this tax life, you can gain the knowledge, you can be better, you can be greater. And with the Intuit Academy, even though I've done level 1, I'm ready to go ahead and complete level 2. I would like to go ahead and do the cryptocurrency tax course.
What?
Yes, and then we also have a fast forward academy where you can actually become an enrolled agent. Now, I have to say I'm excited about all of these things because I get to do them at my own pace and I get to add to my value, but most importantly, they're free, which means that when I do this, I feel much, much greater about what it is that I'm completing and doing.
You said it all. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that flexibility component too. I'm going to take one moment and answer Vanessa. Vanessa said, I'm new to the live streams and I don't know how to grab the link. Vanessa, in the top left-hand corner here, I hope it's left-hand for you. It might not be. There's a QR code. If you open your mobile device and you take a picture or open your camera on that QR code, it will give you a link to open in your browser. Otherwise, these are unfortunately not super clickable. Otherwise, this is the URL. And if that is not working for you or this is too complex for you, you can drop your email briefly and Katie will grab it, email it to you, and then you can delete your email from the comments so it's not out there. Okay, thank you for letting me take a moment to answer these questions on the links here. So cryptocurrency tax, that sounds super interesting. I won't get you to dive into that right now, but I am interested as just as an individual, I'm interested in learning about cryptocurrency. So there's got to be a lot of education out there around cryptocurrency tax. And so cool that Intuit is focusing on teaching that to their team members. So I like getting a peek behind the curtain of how supportive your team is. I think that pursuing the enrolled agent is the way to go. Candidates, let me tell you why. So I kind of want to break down here. She talked about the tax level 1 badge. There is a tax level 2 badge. And there are other certifications within the company, but the one that I get most excited about is the enrolled agent. Excuse me. The enrolled agent certification is the pathway to the enrolled agent licensure. The enrolled agent licensure is a federal license or a federal certification that is recognized by the IRS that certifies you as an IRS enrolled agent. Once you become an IRS enrolled agent, there's no state-to-state testing for that. So you know how we as military spouses are constantly moving. If you get a real estate license, if you get a nursing license, wherever you go, you got to go through a new board, a new program to get qualified to do that job in that state. That is not the case with the enrolled agent. And it's a very respected license. You can practice tax in any state as an IRS enrolled agent. So I certainly recommend that in our military spouse community explore that. Further, according to the Bureau of Labor, IRS enrolled agents earn an average salary of about $90,000 per year. So it's a great remote position for you to be in. Develop that skill set. And Intuit, once you are employed with them, they will pay for your study materials, pair you with a mentor, and give you a bonus once you pass the EA exam, because they want you to be an EA. It's in their benefit to have more EAs on their team. So they definitely want to create that path and make it easier for you. The more EAs that they have, the more talented tax professionals they have, the better they can provide their service to their clients. All right. Thank you so much, Angela, for joining me. I want to bring on Artie for our next guest. I appreciate you. Thanks for being with me today. Artie, can we bring you on screen? Hey.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited you're here. Artie is a wealth of information on Intuit Academy, and she's going to be able to answer so many of our questions. Artie is the brilliant program manager behind the Tax Level 1 course at Intuit Academy. Artie, to start, can you provide an overview of Intuit Academy and explain the exciting new tax prep program that cancels experience requirements and helps qualify candidates for remote jobs at TurboTax?
Yes, absolutely. Super excited to be able to share the details about Intuit Academy with you all. Intuit Academy is a free educational platform. We launched back in February of 2022, so we'll be 3 years old this February. We started with one program, which was the Tax 1 program, and that was a great way to kind of refresh your skills or start building your foundational knowledge if you were new to tax. And now we have 7 programs, including a lot more advanced tax programs, bookkeeping, and then the tax prep program, which I'll speak about in just a little bit. But the goal really now with Intuit Academy is to allow folks that might have or be curious about a career in tax, allow them an opportunity to take programs that will basically delete any requirement of previous tax knowledge. So we have a lot of folks who have an interest in tax, but maybe they've done them for family and friends, or they might have done a little bit of work, or maybe they just are interested. They now have the opportunity to take our new tax prep program. So The benefit there is currently, if you are someone that's in tax and you are interested in getting a job with us, the current requirement to be hired is at least 2 years of paid tax experience and at least 30 returns that you've been paid to do in the recent year. So they're always looking for people that have experience in the past tax season. So 2+ years, 30+ returns. But if you don't have that, don't worry. You have the pathway, which I love the pathway layout that you guys have done with VirtForce. It's so great, and it's such a great tool. But now you have the ability to layer on top of Tax One a new program called the Tax Preparation Program, where it gives learners the opportunity to actually put pen to paper and do taxes on the forms. So if you've never had an opportunity or if you've never done taxes before, it's totally fine. You're given very basic simulations, maybe a little bit more advanced, but similar to the type of work an entry-level tax associate would do. And you have the opportunity to do 13 of these returns. And you do need to get them 100% correct before you can move on to the next one, but practice makes perfect. So we know the more that you practice, the more that you'll retain that knowledge. And once you earn that tax prep badge and you now have both badges, it now unlocks the opportunity for you to connect with a recruiter. So we are super excited to offer this program. It's new. We piloted it last year, and now we have a pathway for anyone at any level of experience from 0 up to 2 years or more, a pathway into joining the expert network.
I love that. It's so comprehensive. It opens the door for so many of us looking to start a career in tax prep and help graduate out of that. I'm interested, or I have some experience, but I need to truly get myself qualified to apply for this role. Okay, so after everything Artie just told us, if you already meet the experience requirements that Intuit is requiring, the 2 years of experience or the 30 tax returns, you are welcome to apply. And Katie, will you please drop the apply link now for those individuals? If you have questions about that, let us know. I do want to say, Monica Franklin, I see your comment that you've applied more than once. What I would like for you to do, Monica Franklin, is send us an email so that we can identify what's going on. Okay, so the email that you will contact is Katie's. I see that you're watching from LinkedIn, Monica. So what we will do is send a team member over to LinkedIn to leave a comment there of which email you can contact, unless Katie can bring it on screen. Oh, she's ahead of me. Katie's got it on screen. resumes@virtforce.us. If you need help, Monica, we want to help you, okay? Let's see here. So if you are ready to apply, you can go ahead and apply. And we will bring this link on screen now. This is where you apply if you already qualify. Let's talk about what you do if you do not meet the requirements. You need to process yourself through the course and complete the tax level 1 badge. And we are going to help you do that. Okay, we are offering our last boot camp of the quarter. And this boot camp is really quick. In a few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about exactly how much time you are required to devote, about how soon you can expect to graduate. And it's legit. This is real. This is not a bait and switch situation. This is real. We already have had 3 applicants hired from our last boot camp and have 7 more that are starting the application process this week. Don't do this unless you actually want to get hired. Let me say that. If you're not serious and you don't really want a job at Intuit, this is not for you. So moving right along here, bootcamp sign up. I want to bring this link on screen for you. The bootcamp sign up, if you've already signed up, you don't have to do it again. But if you have not signed up for bootcamp yet, please make your way to this link. You can use the QR code, or you can click the link here. I look so silly with all these fingers in front of my face. One of these two, it's the same thing. It's going to get you to the same location to get you to sign up so you can go through this incredible program that Artie and her colleagues have built for you. And I see 2 people have clicked the QR code. Thank you guys for doing that. If you aren't sure where you stand, you can take a look at our navigation link. I'm not going to bring that up on screen again. It was posted at the very beginning. If you need the navigation link, ask for it in the chat and we will post it. Okay, thank you so much, Artie. I appreciate your time. There was one question for you before you leave our live stream. Not that one. Hang on. Where'd it go? This one was explain the difference between. Where'd it go? Just a second, Artie. Bear with me. There we are. Can you explain the difference between the Fast Forward program to become an agent? What is the difference between a professional and agent?
So I think a professional is more someone that has experience in the industry. The EA credential is an actual credential bestowed upon you by the IRS. So it basically means there's only 3 categories of folks that can actually represent you to the IRS. It's someone with a CPA, a JD, or an EA credential. So it is equally as powerful as a CPA license is. So if you do earn that credential, you do have to keep it renewed year after year, but you can add EA enrolled agent to your job title and to your signature, basically.
Thank you, Artie, and thank you for speaking with us today. I'm going to go ahead and get our next guest on screen, Julie Shoemaker Moorman. That was a response to your question. If you did not get your question answered, send us an email and we will dive further into that for you to make sure you have clarity there. And please, guys, use the chat for your questions. The Intuit team is here for a limited period of time, but they are here and willing to answer your questions. Okay, so before we talk to Intuit's lead tax recruiter, who is just an incredible person, we love working with him. But before we get to his conversation and what he has to share, let's discuss the details of boot camp for those of you that are joining our last boot camp of the quarter for this hiring season. Katie is going to be running our boot camp, and it is starting now. Katie, if you want to come on screen and wave, say hello, feel free to do so. I know you're running the chat in the background, so that might be hard, but you're welcome to. Boot camp consists of 2 office hour sessions. Those are going to be on 9/24 and 10/1. Katie, what happens in those office hours?
So those office hours are a fairly casual chat, but it's me on there with you guys answering your questions, helping you guys get the information you need. And also in our last couple office hours from the last boot camp, we had a couple of our candidates who were helping each other, who were asking specific questions about the course and how to make it work. And I'm stuck in this spot. Can somebody help me? And we actually had our boot camp candidates helping each other get through the course and getting through the tax prep program together, which was really awesome.
I love that. Thank you, Katie, and thanks for being available on the spot there. Clearly, you don't want to miss it. She's packing a lot of value into that, and she's helping you get your questions answered, and you get to talk to your other students who are going through it at the same time. So it's not something that you want to lose or miss out on. And then the next thing that we're doing, it's an all-new application and interview prep call. It's going to be on September 16th. So September 16th, September 24th, and October 1st. These are the events that we are pulling together just for you as you're going through this boot camp and as you're prepping to apply. So you get to join VirtForce experts on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time on Zoom, and we are giving you dedicated help and insider support to help you be the standout candidate that we know you are. The final thing that you can expect out of the meetups, just the meetups in the boot camp, is the recruiter connect calls. Those involve James. He is a dynamite person to know, and we're bringing him onto this live stream today. But he shows up for the recruiter connect calls, and he puts you in direct contact with anyone you need to connect with at TurboTax, which is usually you get all of your answers from James himself. Our next call with James is September 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So if you want to be on the Recruiter Connect call, email your resume and credentials to Katie at resumes@virtforce.us to get the information. How does that tie in? I'm going to take a brief moment to explain all of this. The 2 calls that occur on 9/24 and 10/1, those are like course help support. You're going through the course, you have questions. You're going through it and you need a little bit more clarification on a specific topic. That's what those 2 calls are for. The application and interview prep call on September 16th. That is for you if you have finished the you've finished the course and you are ready to apply. You finished the course, you finished your certifications, and you're ready to apply. If you're not absolutely done with everything, but you know you're going to be done soon and you know you're headed toward an application, come to the application and prep call. That is our team coaching you through what you can expect during the application process and how to present your best self. We'll go through interview prep, we'll go through tips and helpful commentary to help you stand out. All right, and then the last call, September 20th, that is the Recruiter Connect call. When you come to meet with James, bring your A game. James is the man to know to get hired at Intuit TurboTax, and he is there to answer questions. What he's actually doing is every candidate who attends, he's giving up to 10 minutes of his time to look at your application and identify where you are in the hiring process. So this is super helpful. It is a group call. And we're learning from each other, but they are amazing and they are powerful, and we're excited that we're doing them. All right, additionally, included in the boot camp, you get a WhatsApp study group. The WhatsApp, I'm sure we're all familiar with it. It's an encrypted end-to-end messaging system where you can show up either with your name or anonymously into the group and be a part of the study group with the other students. Additional resources that Katie oversees and provides to you is she gives you a syllabus to help you break down the material. It is a very manageable weekly schedule that Katie gives you. She takes the time to lay out a syllabus for you and say, if you just do this many hours a day, you will be done in 2 weeks. She lays it out for you. She provides you study materials, study tips to help you succeed, application help, and again, those calls with the recruiter. So here come the links. First, I'm giving you the boot camp sign up. Second, I'm giving you the link to enroll in Intuit Academy. If you're signing up for boot camp, it's a 2-step process. You sign up here at this first link, boot camp sign up, and then the second link, you get the course from Intuit. Now, if you do just this boot camp sign up link, we will email you the Intuit Academy course link. So, and then you'll also immediately get access to the WhatsApp group and everything else. So if you sign up for this, you're really covered on all of your links and next steps. All right, once you finish the training, our team is here to advocate for you and make sure that your application gets in front of a recruiter, which is James. So come study for the Tax Level 1 boot camp, for the Tax Level 1 badge in our boot camp and the tax prep program with us. We invite you, we want you to participate. We want you to succeed and land this remote career. And completing these 2 steps will cancel the experience requirements of 2 years of paid experience and 30 completed tax returns. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? James, I would really love to bring you on screen now. We have James. He's a former Army officer and now a TurboTax Live recruiter. He understands your journey and knows exactly what it takes to get hired. James, can you tell us about the upcoming opportunity for our military spouse and veteran candidates to connect with you?
Sure, Kimber. Opportunities that we have for the upcoming tax season are we have tax specialists, tax associates, and tax experts. So the tax specialist roles are for candidates with little to no experience that are coming through the Intuit Academy. The tax associate and tax expert roles are for individuals that have at least 2 years of paid tax prep experience preparing 30 returns or more. The only caveat for the tax expert is you also must be credentialed, have a CPA, an EA, or practicing attorney's license. Those are the roles that we're actively recruiting right now.
Thank you, sir. These are great opportunities, and thank you, James, for taking the time to connect to our candidates one-on-one. in our consultative calls. I know our last consultative call with you was very successful. We had 3 VirtForce candidates who have already been hired this tax season. Another is in the final stages of completing her interviews, and we have 7 others who are ready to start their application either late this week or early next week. So of those VirtForce candidates, they came ready. And I want to give you an example. When they come to the consultative calls with James, they have their questions prepared. They know what they want to ask him before they show up. They dress professionally. They dress for success. They're ready to see James face to face. And they're confident and excited about TurboTax Live. Our next call is September 20th at 10 a.m. So we had someone here, Jessica, says, what if we already started? Let me pull her comment. What if we already started the Intuit Academy? So Jessica, if you've already started and you've not finished, use this bootcamp period to finish the course. And then you want to prep to apply. You want to prep to get your application through and potentially meet James in a consultative call. Come ready to that call. Our next call is on September 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you believe, Jessica, that you are ready to be on that call and meet with James, make sure that you are viewed as a candidate. We would love for you to email your resume to resumes@virtforce.us so we can help support. Okay, if you are ready to apply, Intuit is currently hiring TurboTax Live associates and tax experts. Here's the link. If you are unsure if you meet the experience requirements, you can check out our handy flowchart at this link. If you want to attend our last boot camp before the hiring season ends, here is the link to join our boot camp. Thank you so much, Katie, for putting all of those links in. All right, guys, we are coming in on the close of this live stream. We're getting ready to wrap it up. We've almost been live for an hour. I want to take a moment to give any of you the opportunity to ask questions that you need to get answered from the Intuit team. We have James here with us now. We have some Intuit team members in the background. We should be able to get your questions asked. And then I'm going to check quickly here on the background to see if I missed any. We're going to pause for just a second for you guys to let us know what questions you have. We're going to give you some typing time. I know it can take a minute or two to get those thoughts into the chat. All right. Dawn and Mary Thomas ask, are there opportunities for year-round work for bootcamp badge earners?
We do have year-round positions. Those are normally posted internally, and you have to apply for them unless you go out to our career portal and apply for them. But they're called select time. Does not mean it's 40 hours, but it is a year-round position. So that's what we call our year-round position, select time, tax preparers. Now, all of our positions are seasonal, normally December to April, January to April. You could get asked to extend beyond April. And I've had people who have worked all the way up to the middle of August. The only stipulation is as a seasonal tax preparer, you have to separate from the company for at least 13 weeks before you can come back for the next season.
Understood. All right, our next question comes from Brian on YouTube. What home office equipment will be needed besides a computer or printer?
We supply everything you need. We'll supply you the computer, webcam, USB to VGA adapter, a USB hub, and a 20-foot Ethernet cable. So the only thing you have to supply is your own high-speed internet.
Thank you. Thank you so much, James. Matt, I see your request for the link I'm seeing about 5 or 6 different requests for the link. I understand sometimes it's hard to move links like from on screen to something clickable for you. So what we're going to do is send one of our team members to the platform that you're streaming on, Matt, and we will have them comment the link to you. We are using a software platform right now to stream to multiple places, so it may take just a second for us to get over there and do that. G Money from YouTube asks, can I use a 5G modem for internet?
A 5G modem. The one requirement we have as far as your internet, one, it can't be satellite, it can't be mobile, it can't be a mobile hub, but your download speed has to be 5 megabits per second, and your upload speed has to be 3 megabits per second with 150 millisecond latency. Those are the minimum requirements. So as long as your internet is high speed and it's not satellite, it should work. Now, as far as the modem, if it meets that requirement, you should be it should be okay. But if you receive a job offer from us, we do an internet speed test, so we'll be able to figure out whether or not you're set or not.
Thank you so much, James, for answering that question. So let's see here. Brian asks, is Starlink an option? May not know the answer to that right off the bat, but that is satellite internet, isn't it? Starlink. Starlink, what Elon Musk is using to get internet up into the skies.
That's my understanding, yeah.
Brian, I would research if that's considered satellite internet because they don't accept satellite internet at Intuit. But then again, too, Starlink is satellite, Brian, but take the test. Yeah, okay. Thank you guys for helping each other out in the chat there. Clarissa asks, if hired, how flexible is, let me pause here. Brian and G Money, if you guys, I'm sorry, I'm calling you by your screen names. If you have questions about the internet, email resumes at virtforce.us. We can get a little bit more detailed for you. Clarissa asks, if hired, how flexible is Intuit when it comes time to change duty stations?
Well, first of all, make sure everyone understands, if you do work for TurboTax Live, you must be in the continental United States to do the position. You can't be outside the United States. And inside the United States includes Hawaii and Alaska. So if you're moving from one state to another, as long as we're aware of it and you move, the only thing we have to make sure of when you get to where you're going, that we update your record and that you verify the internet speed test of wherever you're going to work from in that new state or new location.
So pretty flexible, right?
Correct.
Very flexible there, as long as we're not violating any of the company's policies about where you can work, this is not an OCONUS friendly position. The tax industry is too highly regulated to let this work be done outside of the United States. Okay, Matt asks, do I need a CPA or EA if in California? And I know there are some special circumstances around California. Is that right, James?
That's correct. You do not need an EA or a CPA. If you have one, it will make it easier for you. But California happens to be one of those states that have special requirements. And you have to have in California what's called a CTEC. And if you have any questions about it, Google CTEC, CTEC, requirements to be a tax preparer in the state of California, and it will walk you through all the requirements and the things you need to do to get your CTEC. California also requires that you have a $5,000 surety bond as a tax associate. But if you are a EA, CPA, you're credentialed, you don't need a CTEC.
It's totally worth it, though. I will say that if you're looking at building a remote career, building something you can do from home and earn a good living, absolutely worth it to go through those extra steps. And our team is willing to help you figure out what they are and work through that process alongside you if that's something you have to do. Let's see here. Okay, Stephanie asked a question. It may take me a second to get to that one. If one of my team members is able to bring it on screen faster than I can find it, that is helpful too. Stephanie asked, I will just read it for you. And James, I may need to bring Katie on to answer this one, but she wants to know, Stephanie asked, how long does it typically take to complete this course? And does it usually take weeks or months? And are the positions temporary or permanent? I'm going to let Katie answer that because she is our bootcamp lead.
So the bootcamp the course itself takes about 30-ish hours to complete. It is self-paced, so it is entirely up to you how quickly or how slowly you take the course. We have set up our bootcamp to be about 4 weeks and have broken it down week by week in our syllabus. But again, it is self-paced, so it is entirely up to you.
Thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate that. Thank you for being available to pop on and answer that question. And then this one, you could answer this, or maybe Artie could, either of you. Once completed and earn our badge, do they get hired right away?
So you still have to apply. So once you earn, like Artie talked about, you'll go through the tax level 1 course and earn your tax level 1 badge. After that, you'll do the tax prep program and complete that. Once you've done that, you'll submit your application to Intuit, and you will do a phone screen interview, things like that. These are things actually that we will go through. All of these steps, we'll walk you through the whole process of the Intuit application process and things like that in our application and interview prep calls that we're doing, or that I'm doing. Starting, the next one is on Monday. Let's see if I can pop that up on the screen there. There we go. So we're going to walk through all of the steps and things like that. You do have to apply, though, to get hired. It's not just because you complete the badge you get hired. So once you finish the badge and the tax prep program, you'll apply and interview to get hired.
Thank you so much, Katie. Let's bring James back on. I've got 3 questions here, and I think he's likely the best person to answer these. Let's see here. These are not syncing to our Restream chat, and that is okay. So I'm going to read them out loud. Caitlin Colson asks, I'm currently working on completing my certified fraud examiner credential. Are there positions that deal with tax fraud that I could work my way up to starting as a tax associate?
If there are any positions like that, she would need to refer to the career portal to see if any of those positions are out there. Those aren't positions that that if they are out there that I work with.
And thank you for answering that, James. Here would be my follow-up question to you. What's the promote from within culture like at Intuit?
There are opportunities to become lead positions. I believe the candidate, not the candidate, but the preparer that we had with us earlier, Angela. It's all performance based, but there's also, if you've taken the Intuit Academy as a recruiter, depending on how you're evaluated from one year to the next, I may receive you as a candidate to give an offer to for the next year. You're a rehire. If you've performed well to a certain level and you have the Intuit Academy in your file, then that gives me the opportunity to potentially promote you to like a senior tax associate or to a senior level position. But there are also positions internally that you can post for as far as leadership. We have leads, we have senior positions. So the opportunity for advancement is excellent.
Thank you so much, James. Artie, would you mind joining the two of us on screen and we can be a trio here as we tackle the next few questions, because I'm seeing them come in on different topics, some in the recruiting space and some in the program space. I'm going to get these next two answered. James, can you talk to Lori Lockwood about the flexibility of hours for the positions and what the shifts look like?
All right. So during the tax season, our online hours of operation, and you'll have to adjust it depending on what time zone you're in. I'm going to use Eastern Standard Time. It's 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to midnight. That's when we're open online for customers to use our service, and that's when we man TurboTax Live to work with those customers. Now, it's all on a first come, first served basis. As far as selecting your hours, but we don't tell you the hours you have to work. We don't tell you the days you have to work. The only stipulation we have is you must schedule and work a minimum of 20 hours per week. And when you schedule a shift, it has to be at least a 4-hour block of time or more. So you can work 20 hours or more, or a 4-hour shift or more, but you can't work less than those. The only other stipulation is there are peak periods in what we do. And there's a couple that we target. There's one in March and one in April. The business unit expects you to schedule and work a minimum of 35 hours during those time frames. So it's pretty flexible. You schedule it around if you have another job, and you can schedule it around any other personal responsibilities that you have.
I love that flexibility. That's amazing. So as long as you're hitting your hours, it doesn't matter when you're houring. Can I say that? That's a verb. All right. James, one more question in the recruitment for you. Puerto Rico, if I live in Puerto Rico, can I do this position?
Unfortunately, no. Puerto Rico is not one of the locations that's allowed to do this position.
Yeah, U.S. territories, Guam and Puerto Rico are off limits for right now. Hopefully, maybe in the future that will change. All right. And then the next question that we have is, does Intuit require a workspace with a closed door, or is a privacy screen sufficient? And this is from Vanessa.
What we tell all of our candidates, at least I do, is you must have a quiet place where you can interact with customers on video without interruption. So it depends on whether that privacy screen would suffice for you. It depends on, if you have a lot of activity in your house or wherever you're working, you would probably want to have a closed off place, because you're also dealing with a lot of sensitive information that your customers share with you.
Thank you so much, James. And this question may be for Artie. Joanne wants to know, is this just for veterans? Oh, one moment. Artie, audio issue. Oh, there we go. I'm so sorry. Could you please start over?
Yeah, no. So all Intuit Academy programs are available to anyone in the United States. So as long as you're in the United States, you have access to our Intuit Academy programs. So also feel free to share with family, friends. We've got lots of family members that are doing this together, trying to get recruited. So feel free to share with other folks that maybe you get to work with.
Thank you so much. And I thought I saw one other program-based question. Team, have I got all the questions answered? Let me see here. And Jackie's asking about compensation. Jackie, that is typically based on your state, but we can let James answer how compensation is handled and how it's measured for this role. And obviously it's going to change based on the position too.
That's correct. It is based off of the region or state that you live in. It is a W-2 position. You get paid once every 2 weeks. We have access, depending on what state you live in, to entry level rates. But obviously, if you come through with some experience, there is some leeway there. And it depends on the position that you're in. So all that comes into play. And the good thing about it is there are opportunities going forward, not only personal tax returns, but now we've gotten into business tax returns. And that's not anything anybody here probably needs to worry about now unless they have experience, but there are opportunities there as well as far as additional pay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to check my team chat here. Let's see here. Can I still, Angela, Angelise Espino asks, can I join the boot camp knowing that I am soon to return to the United States? I believe Artie can speak to whether or not it's available to you while you're currently located outside of the United States.
That is correct. So the website itself is only accessible within the United States.
Thank you for clarifying that, Artie. So, Angelise, I understand that you're currently located out of the United States, but if you're interested in this, our team would love to stay in touch with you regarding when you're returning and when you can start the training. So send us an email, resumes@virtforce.us, and we will stay in touch and help you pick a good time to do that course. Okay, I think we've answered all questions here. I don't see any additional ones funneling through. So I want to thank everybody who's participated in our live stream today. These are always super fun. And I know we've had a pretty constant stream of viewers today, and we're going to get a ton of replays on this. Hey, if you know somebody who would be a great Intuit team member or who would be a great tax prep associate, send this to them. We're streaming on YouTube. It's not behind our private Facebook group right now, so you can definitely share this live stream. Let them know about VirtForce. Let them know about our community. We are a military spouse and veteran community, but if you know a civilian who's looking for work as well, we're happy to help them. We are an equal opportunity organization. Thank you so much, Artie, and thank you so much, James, and thank you so much, Angela, for being with us today. You guys, as always, are incredible guests. We so much enjoy sharing your program and sharing your opportunity. So I'm going to share a couple of final links here. You can check out Intuit on LinkedIn. I'm going to add the LinkedIn here for them if you'd like to follow them or connect with them on LinkedIn. And one last time, I'm going to drop our bootcamp sign up, and I'm going to drop the link to apply if you are already ready to apply for this organization. Splash Truck says, oh, sorry if mine was already answered earlier. I will look in the replay for it then. Oh, Splash Truck, he just answered yours about if you're an employee or a contractor, and you are a W-2 employee for the duration of the position. All right, here come those final links. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to sit and hang out here while those final links get posted for you. And then I'm going to end our stream. This was really fun. My name is Kimber. I am the founder of VirtForce. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me here on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever that you're watching. This is what we do. We do remote work. We do flexible work. We help you find viable, flexible positions that work with whatever is going on in your life. We specifically cater to the active duty military spouse. We support veteran spouses. We support veterans and transitioning service members, and we love what we do. We've had over 4,000 individuals from our talent community hired since we started our organization, a lot of those at Intuit and fully prospering in their tax and finance careers. So we would love to help you too. Okay, and I believe that wraps up all of the links that we have to share. To show those on screen one more time. Sign up for our TurboTax live bootcamp here and here. And if you don't need the bootcamp, and you already have 2 years of tax experience and over 30 paid tax returns, apply to be a tax associate here. That one's not coming up in the QR code. That's okay. Just need it right here. All right. Thank you all so much. This has been a really fun live stream. And remember, if you need help, email us, email Katie.